Chicago Sky and Connecticut Sun tipped off in a physical battle, with both teams setting an early tone on defense. The officials allowed a lot of contact, and that style immediately favored Chicago's grit. Marina Mabry opened the scoring, with the Sky's first 5 points, knocking down tough jumpers and attacking with confidence. Angel Reese, returning to form after her brief absence, showed her versatility by not only controlling the glass but also initiating the offense in transition. She grabbed multiple early rebounds, nearly picked up an assist, and even cleaned up a miss with a putback. Reese's presence was exactly what Chicago had been missing. In the paint, all eyes were on the matchup between Tina Charles and Camila Cardoso. Charles, a veteran post anchor for Connecticut, displayed her soft touch and poise, but Cardoso more than held her own. The 6'7" second-year center, fresh off a career night with 22 points and 15 rebounds, continued her rise as one of the league's most dominant young bigs. She scored Chicago's first 6 points, battled Charles inside, and ran the floor like a guard, a skill her coach praised pregame. With her mobility and rebounding, Cardoso gave the Sun constant problems around the rim. Connecticut countered with balance and execution. Bria Hartley and Beck Allen curled off screens for quick buckets, while Aaliyah Edwards and Elizabeth Williams added physicality in the paint. Zia Rivers, the rookie guard who has been turning heads, once again proved why she's been such a valuable addition. She knocked down threes, attacked the rim fearlessly, and stuffed the stat sheet with her hustle. Rivers' scoring burst, combined with Connecticut's crisp ball movement, helped them gain momentum despite the Sky's early surge. Chicago struggled, at times, with turnovers and length. 2 costly shot clock violations showed their difficulty generating clean looks against Connecticut's switching defense. Rachel Bannum, filling in at the point in place of Courtney Vandersloot, had her hands full orchestrating the offense, while Kia Nurse and Michaela Oniware tried to stretch the floor from outside. Still, Mabry's hot shooting, including a perfect 4-4 start before her first miss, kept the Sky within reach. As the first quarter wore on, the Sun began to pull away. Charles' steady inside scoring, Rivers' outside shooting, and Williams finishing at the rim gave Connecticut its largest lead of the night, stretching the advantage to 11. Chicago's energy was undeniable, with Reese and Cardoso dominating the boards. But the Suns' experience and depth proved the difference down the stretch of the opening frame. By the close of the quarter, the matchup was already shaping up as a classic clash of styles. The youthful energy and rebounding power of Chicago versus the composure, balance, and shooting touch of Connecticut. With both teams trading momentum swings, the stage was set for a tight and physical contest that would demand execution and toughness on every possession. The Chicago Sky and Connecticut Sun opened their matchup in gritty fashion, with the officials allowing plenty of contact and setting the stage for a physical battle. Right away, Chicago seemed to benefit from that style of play. Marina Mabry got the Sky on the board first, knocking down the team's opening 5 points and showing the shot-making ability that has carried Chicago's offense at times this season. Angel Reese quickly made her presence felt as well. The rookie forward, who had recently returned from injury, looked fresh and active, controlling the glass, battling inside, and even pushing the ball in transition. On one sequence, she nearly picked up an assist after bringing the ball up herself, then immediately grabbed the offensive rebound and finished the play. Her energy was exactly what Chicago had been missing during her absence. The interior matchup between Tina Charles and Camila Cardoso was one of the most intriguing storylines entering the game, and it lived up to the billing. Charles, a veteran cornerstone for Connecticut, used her footwork and soft touch to create scoring chances in the paint. But Cardoso wasted no time showing why she's becoming one of the league's most dominant young bigs. After a monster performance against New York in her last outing, 22 points and 15 rebounds, tying her career high on the glass, the second-year center picked up right where she left off. Cardoso scored Chicago's first 6 points, ran the floor with the agility of a guard, and continued to be a force around the rim. Even against Charles' veteran savvy, she looked confident and aggressive, finishing through contact and cleaning the boards with authority. Still, Connecticut showcased why they've been able to stay competitive all season despite roster adjustments. Their ball movement was sharp, and their ability to curl off screens for easy looks consistently kept Chicago's defense under pressure. Bria Hartley provided veteran stability with timely buckets. Beck Allen attacked closeouts with confidence, and Aaliyah Edwards brought size and effort in her minutes off the bench. Elizabeth Williams also checked in to add interior defense, giving the Sun multiple options to rotate against Chicago's powerful frontcourt. But perhaps the most impressive Sun player early was rookie guard Zia Rivers. Once again, she showed her versatility, stuffing the stat sheet with hustle plays, hitting from deep, and finishing in traffic. Rivers' confidence and energy gave Connecticut a spark, and her ability to stretch the floor opened lanes for Charles to operate. Her play has been a revelation for the Sun this season, turning her into one of the more impactful young guards in the league. Chicago, however, struggled to find consistent rhythm. Their offense was bogged down by turnovers, including 2 early shot clock violations, and their spacing at times looked cramped against Connecticut's length. Rachel Bannum, filling in as floor general, worked hard to keep the ball moving, but the absence of a natural playmaking point guard was evident. Still, Mabry's hot shooting, including a perfect 4-4 stretch before finally cooling off, kept Chicago within reach. Connecticut's experience and poise began to show late in the quarter. Charles settled the offense with post touches, Rivers kept hitting timely shots, and Williams capitalized on defensive lapses inside. With under 2 minutes left in the first frame, the Sun had stretched their advantage to double digits. By the time the horn sounded, they had built their largest lead of the game at 11, quieting the home crowd and putting the pressure back on Chicago. The first quarter highlighted the contrast between these two teams, Chicago relying heavily on the energy of Reese and Cardoso's dominance inside, while Connecticut leaned on depth, execution, and veteran experience to control the tempo. 4. The Sky. The challenge moving forward would be cutting down turnovers and finding consistent scoring outside of Mabry and their frontcourt. For the Sun, it was about continuing to capitalize on their balance and not allowing Chicago's energy to swing momentum. With 3 quarters still to play, both teams had already shown flashes of their identity. The Sky looked hungry and physical, led by their young stars, while the Sun looked composed and steady, leaning on their veterans and rising rookies. It was clear this game would be decided not by talent alone, but by which team could impose their style for a full 40 minutes. The opening frame set the tone for a hard-fought matchup. The refs let the players battle, and Chicago came out energized behind Marina Mabry's quick 5 points and Angel Reese's relentless motor. Reese not only dominated the glass but also initiated transition plays, nearly creating assists while crashing the boards for second-chance buckets. Camila Cardoso, fresh off a career night, picked up where she left off with 6 early points and active rim protection. But Connecticut answered with poise. Tina Charles established her inside presence with smooth footwork, while Bria Hartley and Beck Allen came off curls to knock down shots. Rookie Zia Rivers provided a major spark, hitting from outside and attacking the rim, her confidence shining through. Late in the quarter, turnovers and 2 costly shot clock violations stalled the Sky's offense, allowing Connecticut to close on an 11-2 run. By the buzzer, the Sun led by 11, their largest advantage so far. Chicago refused to fold. Mabry stayed hot, hitting tough jumpers and stretching the floor, while Cardoso and Reese controlled the paint. Reese continued her all-around impact, rebounding, defending, and pushing in transition, proving she's far more than just an interior player. Michaela Aniware and Kia Nurse chipped in timely buckets, helping the Sky stabilize after their rough finish to the first quarter. Connecticut, however, leaned on Rivers' hot hand. The rookie guard drained another 3 and pushed the pace, forcing Chicago to adjust defensively. Tina Charles continued to score inside, but foul trouble briefly slowed her momentum. With Charles on the bench, Aaliyah Edwards and Elizabeth Williams kept the interior strong, though Chicago's rebounding edge began to show. By halftime, the Sky had cut into the deficit, trailing by just 5. Mabry's scoring and Reese's relentless effort gave them a jolt, while Cardoso's physicality made Connecticut's bigs work for every rebound. The third quarter turned into a chess match. Connecticut's veterans showed composure, with Charles and Hartley slowing the pace and executing in the half-court. Rivers continued to shine, hitting another triple and finding teammates on drive-on-kick opportunities. Chicago, meanwhile, leaned heavily on Reese and Cardoso. The duo dominated the boards, creating second-chance opportunities and keeping the Sky within striking distance. Reese's hustle plays ignited her teammates, while Mabry remained the Sky's offensive engine, hitting from mid-range and beyond the arc. Still, turnovers plagued Chicago. The Sun capitalized with transition points and crisp execution, pushing the lead back to double digits. Even as the Sky fought hard, their lack of perimeter depth outside Mabry was evident. This game was a showcase of contrasting styles. Chicago relied on youth, hustle, and rebounding dominance from Reese and Cardoso, while Mabry provided shot-making. On the perimeter, Connecticut countered with veteran poise from Tina Charles and the surprise X-Factor performance from rookie Zia Rivers, whose shooting and confidence shifted the momentum multiple times. In the end, the Suns' ability to execute late, combined with balanced contributions across the roster, proved the difference. Chicago showed flashes of brilliance, especially with their young core, but turnovers and lack of consistent outside shooting kept them from completing the comeback. For the Sky, the takeaway is clear: their future is bright with Reese and Cardoso leading the way. For Connecticut, this win is another reminder of their depth, resilience, and ability to close out games when it matters.